Here you can see the implementation of the NPCs, or non-playing characters. Around the field, there are multiple pumpkin objects, and currently they're just sitting there. But when you press the pursuit mode and enable it by clicking the letter P, all of the pumpkins now start to follow the player at a pretty rapid pace, no matter where they go on the field. You can see that when you move around the field, the pumpkins will try to climb over obstacles, they can climb down obstacles and hills, and they can go over water to try to follow you. Their only goal is to try to match your position currently. They'll try to even stack on top of each other if it means coming closer to you. Pumpkins will fall into any holes that you build in front of them, so if you build a lot of holes in front of a pumpkin, the NPCs would fall into there.
So for Milestone 3, I implemented 3 different things: distance fog, post-process render buffers, and a basic fluid simulation. For distance fog, you need to have access to the Z position in the shader program, so I modified the vertex shader to be able to read in the Z coordinate, and then added a proportional amount of white light and clamped that such that things in the distance looked like they were foggy. For the post-process render buffer, I had to make a lot of modifications to the MyGL pipeline. A lot of the tricks were in the details here, making sure that each shader had their own relevant member variables. Finally, for the water simulation, I implemented a check such that if a block is removed adjacent to water, a breadth first search is executed, and it basically sees if there are any adjacent empty blocks and continues to expand outward for 7 or 8 blocks. The trick here is to only check neighbors that are on the XZ plane or down, because water can't flow up.
For Milestone 3, I was responsible for the procedural sky and cloud generation. I took Professor Malley's existing code and made several major improvements. First, I included my own color palette, which was inspired by actual drone panoramic photos I've taken of sunsets, dusks, and sunrises. In addition, I animated the sun such that over a 2-minute gameplay, the sun traverses 24 hours from rising east and setting to the west. Note that the color changes at noon when the sky turns blue and becomes dark at night. I also decided to use Perla noise instead of Worley noise because it made the clouds look more realistic without the mosaic look of Worley noise. The decreased number of iterations in the fractal Brownian motion also reduced lag significantly. At night, the sun is below the world, which creates a look of darkness.